Hey guys, we're going to be going over some equations that we're going to be solving that are quadratic. Okay, so let's take a look at number 1. So this first equation, it's going to be k squared plus 6 is equal to 6. And this is pretty basic, but what you have to do here, instead of doing all that factoring and quadratic formula or graphing, we can start isolating the x. The reason being is because, look, if you look at this standard form, y is equal to x squared plus bx plus c, we don't have this term here. All we have is this one and a number. We don't have this one here. So because of that, I can isolate, I can get this by itself. So for example, I can do minus 6 minus 6. I can get k squared is equal to 0 because these two are 0. And then I can take the square root of both sides and I can get k is equal to 0. Okay, so that's my solution for this one. Okay, let's say you get another example. Let's say you get something like 9r squared minus 3 is equal to negative 152. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to get this r squared by itself. So I'm going to add 3 on both sides. I'm going to get r squared is equal to, if you add 3 to this negative 152, you get negative 149. And if you divide by 9, you get r squared is equal to, let me see, this is 5. How many times did you do that one right? Yeah, how many times does this one go into it evenly? You know what, I don't believe it does. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it as a fraction. Okay, let's go and leave it like that. The reason being is because when I take the square root, okay, r is equal to, and here's the thing that I didn't do on this one because it's 0. Every time you take the square root, you have to put plus or minus. So plus or minus. Okay? So plus or minus, and then I'm going to go ahead and write negative 149 over 9. Okay? There's an extra step that I need to show you all in class, but I'll go ahead and stop here. Okay? There's an extra step. Now, once again, I didn't write plus or minus here because 0 is neither plus or minus, so I don't have to write the plus or minus there. Okay? Let's go ahead and go over another example. So let's say we have negative 10 minus 5n squared is equal to negative 330. Okay, so I'm going to add 10 on both sides. Okay, here it cancels out. We get negative 5n squared is equal to negative 320. And then I'm going to divide by negative 5 on both sides. I get n squared is equal to, how many times does it go? So 6, 2, and that's 4, so 64. Okay, and then I take the square root and I get n. Remember, every time I take the square root I do plus or minus, and I get plus or minus 8. So my answer is 8 and negative 8. So if I plug this back into here, that's my answer. Okay, let's do one more. Okay, let's get something like 13 minus 8n squared is equal to negative 1139. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this over here. A big mistake is that just because this sign here is a minus, they think it's attached to the 13. So this is, the 13 is really positive, so I'm going to do minus 13 on both sides. Okay, so minus 13, this cancels out. We get minus negative 8n squared is equal to, now here you're going to add them up since they're the same sign, so it's going to be 2, 5, 1, 1, and that's negative. We can divide by 8, negative 8. We get n squared is equal to, that goes in 1 time, there's a 3 here. That goes in 4 times, there's a 3 here, and that goes in 4. So it's positive 144 because they're both negative. You take the square root, and you get n is equal to plus or minus, because you put plus or minus here, 12, because the square root of 144 is 12. So these are your solutions. This is a lot easier than doing the quadratic formula, than factoring, because it doesn't have this bx, okay? I hope that helped.